I've got out the next ficus for Ficus Friday. And this tree I got from Florence. She moved away and she gave me this tree. And it was supposed to be a Moreton Bay ficus. And then I got a comment from a fellow Australian that said, that's not a Moreton Bay. It's a different native Australian ficus. So I forget the name of it, but I'll put it down below. So it's not a Moreton Bay ficus, and I was kind of disappointed because Moreton Bay ficus are famous for their big buttressed aerial roots. So I looked up this tree online, and it also has big buttressed aerial roots. So I'm happy once again. It's been growing quite well. I know this one does have some scale insects on it. I can see the little blisters on some of the leaves. So I'll also clean this one up and spray it. And it's getting quite tall. I don't mind it growing tall, but I have limited space in the plant room. So if I can reduce this tree back, I will. It's to try and keep it a little smaller so I have more room in the plant room. It's been growing quite well this summer, despite the heat. The Australian natives seem to do quite well in the heat. And so I'm just cleaning it up. There's a lot of kind of leaf sheaths that have fallen off here. And I'll have to check it over for insects. Oh, I can see scale insects here and there on it. So that's my first step. Clean it up for scale insects, spray the tree, and then I'll prune it up. I'll show you what the scale insects look like. I didn't show you on the last one. So on this leaf petiole here, you can see there's a little scale blister on it. There's one on the underside of that leaf there. Yeah, there's the odd one here and there. So before it becomes a major problem, I'm going to pick them all off and spray the tree. Break the blisters off, crush them. Okay, I think I've got them all. All right, time to spray the tree. I think that spider is gone. Let me just make sure. I don't really want to spray the spider if I can avoid it, because it will not survive. Yeah, I don't see the spider anymore. I think it disappeared. Okay, so time to spray the tree. So again, I'll hold my breath. It is time to rinse off the tree now. So it should be scale free now. Sure hope so. Flush the soil out. So the pot this tree is in, it's one of Wayne's pots, and I would say it's a little shallow for the tree. It could use a slightly deeper pot. I think would help it grow a little better, but it's doing quite well in it. I think it's good for, now and this winter. So maybe next year when I repot it, it can get a slightly deeper pot. I think that would help it grow better. This is a fairly large leaf tree, so you're not going to get, tiny fine growth on it. So, the eventual plan is to have this a medium to large size tree eventually. Okay, so that is all looking good. So the next step, I'm going to look at it and decide if I need to do any pruning. I'm going to begin the pruning by removing some of the dead stubs. You can see in the apex there's a dead leader that died off. This branch has a dead end on it. This one has a stub that could be cleaned up. I think that's about it. Okay, here I go, cleaning up these dead branch ends. One removed. There's one up top here. second one, and this one needs a little bit of cleanup. That. Yeah, I think the rest is all good. Okay, now, as far as, oh wait, there's another branch tip here. Yeah, that died back. There. That's good now. Okay, so I can see on the base here there's a lot of new shoots that we're trying to grow in, but didn't. Maybe because of the scale insects, I'm not sure, but now I'm just trying to decide if I should prune this tree at all. And I think this is the front. So I do have at the top, I've got one coming out the front, which is nice. And then this back branch has 3 branches growing off it, all kind of from the same spot. I want to reduce that from 3 to 2. So I want to pick my best branches. I'm thinking because I have this one off to the front here, one here, and a vertical one, that this back one could maybe come off. Yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of interfering with the trunk line. So that one's going to come off. Like that. And then I'm going to reduce this one back to an upwards facing leaf here. Like that. This one, I think I want to let this one grow and thicken up a bit. But this one could be pruned to, I've got a leaf at the back here, so I could just prune the tip off. That growing tip can come off. So that's got the top of the tree sorted. This branch, I think I need to prune it back. I've got 2 outward facing leaves here, so I can take it off here. This one, I've got 2 outward facing leaves here. Take it off there. This one is kind of, I've got a thicker branch here and then one opposite it. I'm wondering if I need it. I don't think so. I have one out the back, so I'm going to take this one off. Totally. So there's the tree now. And I could tip prune this one just to I won't. I'll let it grow a bit. I think that's it for the pruning. I think it's looking good. So let's just have a more detailed look at it. I'll rotate it around. Here is a look at the tree now. So here's the current front, coming around to the right hand side, to the back, to the left hand side, and back to the front. The next ficus for today is my rubber tree forest. So I did some hard prunes on this, bringing the height of the forest down, and yeah, it's looking quite good. So I'm just going to have a look at it and check for scale insects, which I haven't seen any, and make sure there's no branches that are kind of growing in the wrong direction. Just kind of cleaning out that new growth, making sure it's looking good. So I'm just having a look at each tree now. There is a branch here that I pruned that I don't see anything growing on it, and I think it's died. Yes, it has. So I can prune that back. Yeah, totally died off. There's a stump up top here that I can prune back flush. Just kind of cleaning that up now. Like that. And I could take this bump back a bit more here. Like that. I'll seal those up. Even though there's good sap coming out of them. That'll seal them naturally, but I'll just make sure. Okay. And that branch is looking good. It divides from 1 to 2. The branches are in a good direction. The tree below it, it also has a dead branch here that didn't survive. So I will prune the whole top off that. It just died back. So I'll take the first branch off, and then I'll come in here and remove the dead top to this tree. Oh, and I do see a scale insect at the base of this leaf. Oh, and there's one on this leaf too, right here. Okay, so this will also need spraying. And I'll seal that cut up. Like that. The branch out the back survived on that tree. It's looking good. So everything else is looking good on that tree. I could remove this one large vertical leaf here. I will. Like that. This one, it only has one leaf on it, and there's a shoot developing on it, so I'll leave that one alone. This tree, it's got a bit of a stub here, but I don't want to touch that yet until this branch is growing a little stronger. There's one on the inside of a curve here that can be removed. Just a new little shoot developing. This is looking good. The one out the back's looking good. It divides from 1 to 2. I could take off this large leaf here, and I will. Just to let a little more light in down here. The tree on the end here, it's looking good. It didn't, well, there's a shoot on the inside. This one developed nicely. There's a stub there. But I'm going to leave that for now until this branch is stronger before I prune it back. This tree out the back here, just cleaning out some of the sheaths that go around the leaves. I'll prune this one leaf off. It's growing too close to this one. I will prune this leaf off and this one just to thin it out a bit so all these branches get good light. There's a new shoot developing up the middle here, which I probably don't want, so I'm going to remove it. It would just be growing in between those two branches. There's a dead stub here that didn't survive. Okay, that one's good. This tree out the back, this is good, divides from 1 to 2. I've got a vertical shoot coming off of this branch. I'm going to leave it. It may grow up. It might look good in the future. Spider webs in here. This branch out the back is good. I could remove this vertical leaf just to thin it out a bit. And you can see how clustered it is, or how congested it is here. I need to do a little leaf removal. So I think I'm going to take this one off. That helps. And this one, I don't know if I want this branch. It crosses the trunk line. I'm going to remove it entirely. I could even remove this one. It's kind of going across this part of the branch. That's looking good. There's a low branch that's developing nicely. This tree, it has this branch going out from the base of the tree, which I like. It gives it a bit of unique style, and it's very natural for a ficus to do that. There's a big stump up top on this tree, but I'm going to let these branches develop more before I reduce that back. This branch out the front, it's getting some pretty big leaves on it. They're not shading out anything, but they're pretty big. I'm going to take it off. I think there's just too much vigor going to that branch. I'm going to take this one off too. Kind of balancing the vigor in all the branches so you don't get some branches growing twice as vigorous as others. But other than that, I think everything else is looking quite good on the forest. Oh, there's a leaf here I could remove. It's too congested in this area. There's a whole bunch of leaves. Now let me sort this section out here. So this vertical one can come off. This vertical one can come off. And this old leaf can come off here. And I think I can take this one off too. That gets lots of light in here to all these new branches. And there's a vertical one I can take off there. And one here. This branch died back. You can see this one here at the back of the main tree. So I'm going to take that off. That's too bad, but it happened. Sometimes on hard pruning, it doesn't work out. And in this case, it didn't. You can see this whole stump is dead here, so I can clean it up. That's good. And I'll seal that with rubber cement. Like that. Okay, that has got the rubber tree forest looking good. So let's step back and have a look at it. I'll rotate it around and we'll see what it's looking like. Here is a look at the rubber tree forest. It's getting a bit of sunlight on it now. So I'll rotate it around. So here's the right hand side, the back of the forest, the left hand side, and back to the front. Yeah, I really like this forest. I have that rubber tree clump and I have this rubber tree forest, all of the same kind of dark leaved rubber trees. And I thought, do I need both? And I thought I should give one away and just keep the one. And I like both of them. I just couldn't part with one of them, so I'm keeping both of them, the forest and the clump style. And I think I'll have a lot of fun developing this forest into the future. I like the rubber trees. I think they're pretty cool plants. There was only a few scale blisters on this Ficus elastica forest, but I'm going to spray it, so here I go. Big breath. Okay, it's time to rinse off the Ficus elastica forest, or rubber trees. And the forest will get a good water at the same time. So all these ficus that had scale on them are in the greenhouse. When the trees are outside, there's natural predators that tend to keep the scale insects away. So you generally, when the tree's outside, you don't really have much problem with scale insects, but indoors and in a greenhouse you do. Okay, so there is the rubber tree forest. Looking good. You can go back on the bench. The next tree for today is my Willow Leaf Ficus with my Florida alligator that I got from Bonsai J looking at the tree. So the tree is looking quite nice now. It looks healthy. I don't see any scale insects on it. And usually this time of the year they look really good. They tend to defoliate twice a year. When I bring them from indoors to outside, they tend to defoliate all the indoor leaves and then they grow new outdoor leaves in. And when I bring them from outdoors inside for the winter, the lower light levels, they tend to defoliate once again. So it kind of automatically gets 2 defoliations per year. And the growing season is so short here that they kind of just start to look good at the end of summer, and then they go indoors and you have to try and struggle to keep them healthy and alive through the winter. And then in spring they go back out, they defoliate, and then by the end of summer they start looking good again. So definitely a tree to show in fall in a colder climate. So I don't think there's anything I really need to do to the tree today. There's nothing wildly going wrong with it. It's all looking quite nice. I'll show you a detailed look at it. I'll spin it around. Here's a look at the front of the tree. So I'll rotate it around to the right hand side. The back of the tree. There's a few yellow leaves back here, some older ones. The left hand side. And back to the front. So I've done a lot of root work on this tree, and these Willow Leaf Ficus, they're famous for getting these huge root systems compared to the size of the trunk and the tree. So I mentioned earlier in a video that I was going to repot this tree this summer and try and do some more work on the roots. I just didn't get time. It'll have to wait until probably next summer. Maybe early in the summer I'll get a chance to do it. It definitely needs repotting and more root work. I'll show you a close-up of the roots. There's a look at the roots close up. Notice there's a lot of ants crawling around on the tree. Yeah, so the roots, they're not bad. Like, they're radial, but you can see some of them are getting really thick. I redirected this one in a more radial pattern, cut off half the root. I've done quite a bit of work on this side. It was always very thick over here, and I can see more work that needs to be done on this side. A lot of carving away of roots. Yeah, so that's one thing I'm trying to do with this tree, is to keep the proportions of the root system in balance with the top of the tree and keep my radial roots quite fine and miniature looking. So yeah. So it'll be interesting when I go to repot it next. I think there'll be a lot of root work to go on it. My Willow Leaf Ficus does need watering, so here I go. Give it a good water for today. And it drains through the soil quite nicely, so I don't think it's root bound. And it's planted in one of these old Chinese pots too. I sure like them. I think they look good with tropical trees. It's hard to find an old glazed pot, one that looks old. And I got this tree from Chris Hendry long ago. And it's come a long way. Okay, so that is well watered. There's a close-up of the alligator. And there's a look at the leaves. They look really healthy. Yeah, the tree's doing quite well. And this tree's been outside for the whole summer, not in the greenhouse. I said my Willow Leaf Ficus was going to be the last tree for today, but I'm going to squeeze one more ficus in, my edible fig, Ficus carica, and it has one of the fruits is ripe on it, so I'm going to try it. I think if I waited till next week, it would probably fall off. So I'll pick it off the tree. And try it out. It looks good. Look at the inside. It's nice and ripe looking. There's a shot of the inside of the fig. Yeah, it looks really good. So here I go. I'm going to try it. Oh, oh, is that ever good? Oh, that is totally delicious. Wow. I have 2 more fruit on this tree. There's one ripening up here and a green one. I don't know if that'll ripen up in time or not, but yeah, this tree is, it's pretty skinny, but it gets fruit, which is amazing. So that is it for this Ficus Friday. I worked on a lot of ficus today, so I don't know how many parts this series will be. Last Friday it ended up to be a 3-part series. Today might be the same. I just start in the morning and work on ficus until the late afternoon. It's a lot of fun working on ficus. I really enjoy them as a bonsai. The scale insects, that's mainly because the trees were here in the greenhouse, and I think I've got them under control. So that is all for Ficus Friday today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.